Today's episode welcomes a radiant soul whose journey from the bustling boardrooms of NYC Broadcasting Television to the art-centered world of angelic guidance and self-empowerment is nothing short of transformational. At age 40, she began her self-love awakening. 62, she gracefully transitioned from a thriving 32-year media career into what she calls rebootment, not retirement. As the founder of Feel Good Express lifestyle program, she has spent over a decade guiding others to step into their power, connect with their inner light, and live vibrant, high vibrational lives. Welcome to the show, Dede. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. It's such a treat to be here with you.
Thank you so much for joining me for a civil conversation. I've been looking forward to speaking with you because we're going to be talking about empowerment and talking about connecting with our spiritual self. And I find this very, refreshing because there's a lot of things that happens under the as in the, unseen things that happens that manifest in the physical later. And I would like to learn how we connect with our spiritual self and even become much more spiritually awakened also. But before we go into all of that, I would like us to play a game of wild cards. We have three stacks of cards. The first level is the icebreakers. Yeah.
All
Yes.
right.
So what I do is basically icebreakers. Yes. So I shuffle through the first stack of cards. You also have your cards, but these ones are just full of questions basically for us to get to know you a little bit better.
Great.
I hope we get to play your cards also down the line on this conversation. So are you ready for the first question? Yes. Oh, okay. So the question is, what is your favorite compliment someone has given you? What is your favorite compliment someone has given you?
I would say I've had this actually a lot, more and more as time goes on, but that I really trust you. I feel like I could totally be myself with you and share things that I can't share with other people.
Oh, wow. That's the best compliment ever, I would say.
I know, right? Gives me goosebumps just saying it.
Yeah. Comes with a lot of responsibility also, but it's a wonderful compliment.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I love that so much. Are you ready for the next question?
Yes.
Yes. Oh, okay. Yeah. I've pulled this card quite a number of times, but it goes again. What is something normal to you that other people find weird? Something that is normal to you, but other people find strange.
I get in the mirror and talk to myself. I
Okay.
talk to my inner child almost every day, and I get in the mirror. I'm like, "Hi, Ayla, how you doing today?" So I can connect with her, my inner child, my soul. Some people are, "What?" That's a little crazy, but it works.
It works, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't say that's the reason why this podcast is called Mirror Talk. I also sometimes have want to talk in the mirror to myself.
No, I love that it went with the name of your podcast. I was hesitant at first, like, "Mirror talk."
Oh, I dropped the card because it keeps on running around the room. Okay, I got the card. Are you ready for the last question? It must be something special because it flew out of my hand, and but I would love to learn about this from you. And it is describe a memory that feels like a movie.
Describe in memory.
That feels like a movie.
A memory I've had that feels like a movie. Well, I guess, I was thinking about when I walked down the aisle with my father
Hmm.
and we were both to marry my husband. That was almost 37 years ago. As I was walking down the aisle, my father and I are both like all teary eyed because we both cry real easily, but tears of joy, right? And just, I felt, yes, it feels like it could be a movie or a movie to me. I just see the whole video in front of me and my husband waiting at the altar, just beaming for me. I'm going to cry now. Yes.
Oh,
Feels
that's
like it would be a really cute, fun movie.
yeah, that's so beautiful. You know what is coming up for me? I don't know if you've watched this movie, Crazy Rich Asians.
Yes, that's a great movie.
Yeah, there's this wedding scene, I think at the end or something like that, and that's what came up to me right now. When I've forgotten the song they were singing. I've watched the movie twice, And when the lady, was stepping into the chapel, I think with her father, and they poured water started flowing on the floor in the chapel, and she had to walk barefooted in the pond of water to the altar. And I almost cried. I mean, it was so beautiful. And that came up to me when you talked about yours right now. It must be a beautiful
That's
memory.
good. That's a
Yeah.
beautiful movie and that's a beautiful scene. So thank you.
I mean, it's a beautiful thing to be married and, to experience that with your family or your loved ones, your father.
Yeah. And my husband, obviously my soulmate, I mean, we dated for 3 years, married for almost 37. So we're almost in 40 years. But my father was a soulmate too. He was a soulmate from prior life. And, because some people think of soulmate as it always has to be romantic. And I see soulmates as, yes, definitely romantic, but you can also have a soulmate that's not. But the soulmate for me is they totally get you. They see you. They make you feel lovable and they understand you inside and out. And you feel like you've known them before.
You feel comfortable with them. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you so much for answering those questions. And I'm really grateful that were very honest with the answers and you just opened up and shared some memories that I could also relate with. That's something very beautiful.
That's great. I love
Yes.
that.
So, so I would like us to go back to the subway station at the 51st Street. And sorry, I'm going back right now into the past. Sorry. You
Okay.
know, at the at the subway station, you had that divine spark moment when you bought the Angel Team Time magazine. So I'd like to learn, from that moment in your life, what shifted within you that day, and how did it become the foundation of your spiritual path?
Okay. I'm then in the subway station, 51st Street and Lexington Avenue. I spent a lot of time in subway stations living in New York. I was there from 74 in Manhattan. So I was on plenty of subways and buses and taxis. But anyway, in that subway station, I was heading down and I always kind of love to share this story about to get some hair highlights. And that was on, I had to go maybe 5 stops, but I was on the subway station and I was actually in a distraught moment, but it also was Easter week, Holy Week. And I'm on, looking at the subway. Is it coming? Is it coming? And then I noticed on the newsstand, Time Magazine. And it was, is there a heaven? Do you believe in God? That kind of thing on the cover of Time Magazine, which is like a Newsweek. I don't know if these magazines are still around, but they were, very political
Yeah.
and newsy. And I saw that and I went, oh, I got to buy that magazine. So I grabbed it, bought it, got on the subway for 5 stops. And as I'm reading it, I got really connected to, wow, there's so many, 80% of the people out there believe in angels. And it was just the timing of it felt so right. And then when I got to the hairdresser place and I was telling John, the hairdresser, what was going on for me at that point in my career, they were collapsing my division. They were moving me over here, taking my whole 10, 12 people and moving them into different departments. So I was really distraught. So as I was telling him the story, he's welling up, I'm welling up. And then this woman sitting next to me goes, I'm sorry to eavesdrop, but you are so ripe for an angel reading. So I was like, what's that? Because she heard me talking about the Time magazine and all that. She said, there's this woman, Trudy Griswold. She wrote a book called Angels Speak. She's in Connecticut. Just take the train right up there. And she gave me all the information. So then I realized something big was going on, right? So I went to this spiritual bookstore 3 blocks away, and there's that one book, Angels Speak by Trudy Griswold, was on the shelf. I bought it, threw it in my briefcase, got back on the subway, back to work, because if you take out 2 hours for a hair appointment, you're going to be there until 7 or 8 at night. Anyway, so that's when it all started. That's when I realized there's an angel intervention going on. Something magical is going on. And then that Friday, which was Good Friday, we were in the car and I still had the book in my briefcase a couple of days. And we get to Home Depot. And my husband's like, I got to go in there. I got to get a hammer. I got to get nails. I've got to get tools, right?
Yeah.
So I stayed in the car and I opened the book, and the book said, I dedicate this book to my best friend, Chris. And I look at it and I go, oh my God, I went to her wake 2 years prior. The woman that wrote the book, she gave the eulogy. So I knew her, just knew her from seeing her in a church in Connecticut, not personally. So I went, oh my God. After that, everything started just syncing up with, I'm getting so much help from the other side. They're really trying to reach me. They're like,
Okay.
wake up, Dede. We're here.
Yeah. And I was like, I mean, I'm so curious to know, like, when you started reading the book and you became enlightened, how was it like, waking up, to being connected to your spiritual self? How was that like for you?
It just feels so good. It feels so comforting and so loving and so big. Something I've never, ever felt before. Like, wow, there are people, guides looking out for me on the other side. I love it. Made me cry, but made me laugh, made me feel so good.
Ah, that's beautiful. I mean, it's so beautiful because, like we said before, we started recording, like I'm a Christian. I said that, like I'm a Christian, and I believe in this relationship with God. And from what I learned in the Bible, there are ministering angels, there are guiding angels all around, and there are angels for fighting battles, for fighting war, for delivering messages, and they're just angels that watch over you basically. So I was, when I was reading about you, I was like intrigued to like learn about being connected to an angel, and um you know having you know communicating with them also. So I was like, okay, how does that work though? Like, can you enlighten me a little bit on how that works? Like, how do your angels are around you, and what do you do with them, and how is all of that? So
Okay, so I used to think that, and there are tons of angels out there, but I didn't realize I had a guardian angel just for me that I wouldn't be sharing with anybody. So when I would journal to the angels, I would also be saying, angels, I need this, and thinking, I have so many things I need that I better get a whole group, a band of angels. And then I learned from this woman called Lorna Byrne. She wrote Angels in My Hair. And she taught me that you have a guardian angel from the minute you pop out of the womb till you shift to the other side. And that guardian angel is just yours. They're in charge of your soul's alignment, your purpose, your happiness, and they are hovering until you give them things to do. They're sitting there going, oh, I wish Toby would give me something to do. So that's how they work. So I make a to-do list, and I have my clients do that too, every Monday or Sunday or whenever you want to do it. Things for the angels to do, my guardian angel, I should say. But sometimes you need courage and you want someone in a hierarchy. Archangel Michael for courage, Archangel Raphael, that angel is actually in charge of health and well being. So you can really call on other angels too, but your guardian angel, you want to stay connected to all the time. So I journal to them. I talk to her. Her name is Samantha.
okay.
Yes, I found that out when I went for that reading with Trudy Griswold. Now, some people don't know their name. That's fine. You can just call guardian angel. You don't need to get attached to her. Is it Bob? Is it Mary? Who is it? Just talk to them. They want to be involved in everything you do. And a lot of people think, well, I'll just pray to them in church or temple or wherever. And I go, no, no, no. They want to help you with everything. Finding a parking spot, okay, downtown. You can't find one. They want to be involved in everything Monday through Sunday, not just in the places where you worship and pray.
Ah, okay. So that means you communicate with them like every day. Do you get
Yeah.
to hear back from them? How does that work?
Well, with the journaling, okay, so I was going to grab my journal, but that's okay. The journaling part, yeah, I will.
Yes, no problem.
Yeah. So I have a feel good journal. There's one of my grandsons on the cover, but I journal. I would say 3 or 4 times a week, but you I don't want to give people a lot of work to do, so I'll say to them, you can talk to them too, just while you're getting dressed in the morning, especially in the mirror talk, right? But the journaling, how I know I'm connecting, this is how when I started journaling, oh my God, I guess it's since 1997, my handwriting changed and it started to go really fast. And it was almost hard for me to read back too. So one day, that's what it started. So now when I journal, I know I'm being channeled.
Yeah.
And some people go, well, maybe it's my higher self, or maybe it's my mother. Isn't my mother my guardian angel that, passed a few years ago? And I say, it doesn't matter whether Jesus, God, your mother, if you feel the information you're getting resonates with your heart, your soul, run with it. Don't get so attached to, is it my guardian angel? It probably is. And because you're getting higher knowing information that feels so good that you might not have thought on of your own.
Okay. Wow. Yeah. I mean, so for people like out there, who, for example, would like to maybe get in connection with their spiritual self or their angels, for example, they could just speak out and then, communicate basically with their guiding angel because the angels are everywhere around us, right?
Yes, nature is a big place. You know, I was going to say you don't want to find them in the subway, but if you're living in a city morning, noon, and night, and you don't have a lot of nature, they'll find you in the subway or they'll find you in a traffic jam. Or like sometimes I'll get be in really intense traffic and I'll get stuck. And then there's a license plate that says inner peace right in front of me.
That's it.
Or
Message.
something comes on the radio that says that song Calling All Angels. You'll get signs, but you also have to believe it. You can't be, I don't think so. I don't believe, it's not happening. I don't see any signs. I don't feel any angels. That's not going to help.
Yeah, that's true.
It's the belief. It's that sparkle. Like when I think of babies before they get into real life and become teenagers and trauma, drama, whatever, but they have that magic in their eyes and they're looking and they're present moment and they see things.
Yeah,
And that's what I'm talking about.
yeah. That sounds so lovely. You know what's coming to my mind right now? Because growing up, I grew up in an African household, and then also from church too. We learn a lot about we have angels and there are also demons, there are evil spirits out there. And then what's coming to my mind right now is how do I differentiate between the demons that are just roaming about and my guiding angel? Maybe at that initial stage when I'm not yet connected fully, how do I differentiate the good spirit from the bad spirit or the good angels from the bad angels?
Yeah. I've been asked that before and I really don't, I kind of don't believe in demons and bad angels. I mean, I know that some people do, but all the angels that I've been in contact with, so nice. And they bring me people to coach and journal with and help that are really, they don't have a lot of darkness. So, but if you feel like there's a person or there is a entity that feels dark, I just believe in, because I have some people that are relatives, right? That you see on Easter or Christmas and you go, oh, Uncle so and so or Aunt so and so, they're so negative. Let me away. So I just send love and light, love, light, compassion, because the light will really dim out any darkness. So that's what I would do if you felt that a dark entity around you.
Yes, send out lights because
Yeah, just give it light because it's going to brighten it.
it's true. That's true. Because darkness cannot stand in the presence of light, basically.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, so one thing that I find very inspiring about you, apart from being a spiritual being and connected to your spiritual self, is that that reboot meant basically. And I would like us to talk about it. Like you described your transition at 62 as rebootment and not retirement. So what does this concept mean to you? Like for people out there, for example, or for others out there who are going through aging at the moment, and sometimes I was talking to a friend earlier also, sometimes we find ourselves on a particular path in life and we believe this is the path for me. And down the line, maybe we want to change lanes. We think, oh, it's too late. I'm too old. I can't learn anything new. I just have to stick to this till, I move to the next side of eternity. So can you talk to us about, what it means to reboot and how it relates to, aging, reinventing ourselves and finding our purpose over and over again in life?
So for me, okay, so I was in broadcast sales for 32 years, 25 in Manhattan, and then 7 in West Palm Beach here at the NBC station. But I kept thinking, oh, I need to get into a position that's more spiritual. Like I need to be on the top of the Himalayas with some monks chanting and praying, or get to an ashram where I can, help people that way. And I kept getting messages from the angels that those places, those people are on their way to spirituality. The people in the corporate world and the business you're in are stressed out. They are the ones that need you more. So if you would have come to my office, I was doing this already. When I left, 32 years of broadcast sales, I was doing it already. Because if you came into my office, you would see stuff I have like this, like my aroma oils would be on my desk. I would have angels on my desk. I would have a Buddha, crystals, all the stuff that's around here in my office. But those are, and a water fountain because the water moving, the chi, and, my angel deck card. And I think I know what I was doing. I was finding ways to de stress myself then. So as I was de stressing myself and my team and clients, I was doing this work already, but I was doing it not in a spiritual setting at all. So that's what they said, Dede, it's not time to go yet. You got to stay there, build
Yeah.
morale, help people that are really stressed out. So what I would say to people that feel as if, oh, I'm 55, I'm 60, I'm retiring, I can't do anything else, I would really tell them to start thinking about what it is that makes them feel really good, and start even before they're ready to retire from the traditional business that they're in. And if they want to even become an entrepreneur or whatever they want to become, but just go inside and just, what is making your heart sing? What is making you feel good? What's your passion? And I would also write it down, like things that I want to do when I turn 50 or 60 or 70, and just get in touch with that. And then, of course, ask your guardian angel to put things in your path that's for your highest good. Like in the mornings, I wake up and I ask the angels, please put in my path people and experiences for my highest good. And then they come in. So here you are.
Yes.
You're in my path today for my highest good.
I feel so happy about that.
Yeah. So that's probably most of it. Just get in touch with what you love.
Get in touch with what you love. So how do you, okay, I mean, follow-up question to that is basically like, how do you get in touch with your inner self? Like, do I have to, first of all, work on my spiritual being so I can get like clarity in life? Or how do I connect with myself and love myself more?
You said it. Self love. Self love gets you everywhere. That's what was a big thing for me. At 30, I realized I wasn't loving myself. If you saw me, you'd go, oh my God, Dede's got it all together. She's got a great job. She's got tons of friends. She's so popular. She's fit. She's attractive. She's got it all going. But inside, there was an emptiness. And when I grew up, my mother wasn't loving. My father was, but they divorced and all of that. I won't get into the whole story, but I had to learn myself, even though my mother wasn't able to. So I went to therapy and said to the therapist, can I learn to love myself at age 30, even though I don't feel lovable? So together, she was fabulous. We worked together to get me to fill up all my layers with self love. And then I attracted my husband, my soulmate, was almost 4 years later because I wasn't looking for him to fill me up with self love. So the self love is how you find out what you love, who you are, your purpose, your passion, because you're loving yourself. So nothing's getting in the way of knowing yourself better.
Yeah. I'm so curious to learn about that journey of yours. Can you tell us some of the journeys you had to go on in order to heal yourself, in order to become, start to love yourself, in order to become lovable at the end of the day? Like, are there like some things you had to work on with your therapist or on yourself to do that?
Yeah. I have people, and I did this when I was write a love list of everything they love about themselves, right? On a big yellow pad. And you go, I love that I'm fun to be with. I love my blue eyes. I love that I have this connection to the angels. Just all the things you love. And then you recite it out loud. I have people recite it. We make a love list together. Then that love list stays on their nightstand or somewhere where they can see it. And they recite it often. And before you know it, you're madly in love with yourself,
Mm.
which is a good thing.
Yeah.
People think, oh, they'll go, "Oh, I love this and I love that and I love this." I'm like, "No, no, no, no. I love this. I love that I can connect with Toby on this podcast and have a great time. I love that about me." So you really are saying how much you love something about yourself. It's hard to do. And then if you do it in the mirror, it pops.
Yeah. Yes. I mean, I could totally relate to that. I mean, sorry, but for just putting this in from my own personal story, like like growing up, some people just found it fun to make fun of me. Maybe my small ears, for example, or whatnot. And then slowly it starts to get to you basically. And I learned this years ago, like just being grateful for part of my body. So when I wake up in the morning, I'm like, oh, I'm so grateful for my ears. I'm grateful for how my eyes look like. I'm grateful for how my face looks like. And down the line, thinking about it right now, I don't do it anymore like I used to do it in the past. But down the line, I started to look at myself in a different way. Like I started to admire myself. I'm like, wow, this is actually beautiful. This is actually nice. It actually looks good on me. And before I knew it, people started complimenting me on things that people used to make fun of before in the past. So I was like, oh, okay. I felt that shift, after I started being grateful or being thankful for part of my body that I thought were, my flaws, basically. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, like starting loving everything about, like your new crow's feet, had a couple of wrinkles going on over here. Love it all, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Oh, that is so powerful. Yeah. And you talked about something that I love so much, and that is you have to love yourself to become lovable or to attract the right kind of love into your life. Yeah.
Yes, that's it. Because, yeah, if you're not loving yourself, you're trying to attract somebody to love yourself. Like for me, before I attracted my husband and before I fell in love with myself, I would pick people that would give me crumbs because that's all I felt I deserved. I would pick people that had one foot out the door. No, not anybody that liked me too much. If they liked me too much, I'm like, I'm out of here.
Something is up there.
Yeah. I only wanted the hard to get people, which is something I grew up with because I was getting crumbs from my mother. So it felt familiar, and she wasn't able to love herself because her mother didn't. So there was a whole chain of maternal unlovingness going on. So I had to break that chain.
Wow, I'm happy you broke that chain and you are radiating this love and happiness and light that you're doing right now. I and thinking about it also, like I'm sorry for I'm going deeper into this, but I believe for my belief, I believe that God is love and all angels are from God. And if I'm not able to love myself, I won't be able to radiate that love that will accommodate angels to be around me, basically. Like that means if I'm not able to love myself, the energy around me will be too low for angels to abide or to want to, be in my surrounding.
Okay, so in other words, if you're loving yourself more, you think you'll be attracting angels more and connecting better.
Yeah, that's my indirect question is like,
Yes, you definitely will because I say that the angels, they're vibrating over here, right? And I don't know if you've heard about the four clairs: clairaudient, clairvoyant, clairsentious, and claircognizant.
Okay. No, I've not heard about that.
So it's all on a higher level and it's clarity. So clairsentious is the most common. You feel and sense things about people that maybe other people won't be sensing. You just very empathic. Then there's clairaudience. You actually hear things on a higher. You might get I get whispers in the shower, just little inklings. And then there's clairvoyant, where there are people that see auras and colors and things that other people. And then there's claircognizance, which is crystal clear knowing. That's my main gift. I just know. I can't tell you how I know. I don't have any proof whatsoever, but I just know. And so when you're in vibrating higher and you've released worry, doubt, fear, frustration, and you're in love mode, gratitude mode, compassion, and joy, those gifts, the four clairs, will start popping for you. And then that's a really easy way to connect with the angels. But when you're vulnerable and sad, and that's how I was when I was in that subway station, I was vulnerable and sad and angry and all of those lower vibrating feelings. And they kept coming in until started to believe they were there. They gave me one sign after the next.
Okay.
So if you're vulnerable, they're coming in, but it's easier to communicate when you lifted out your worries and frustrations. I do that every day. I have it's called the worry and doubt list, and then I shred it. So I write down everything I'm worried about, sad about, anxious about, all of that, with a lot of feeling as I'm writing. I'm really worried about this. I'm really sad about this. Then I shred it. And now my channel is just more open. And then that's when I go in the mirror and say loving things to myself. And then I go into gratitude. And then I'm up here.
You're vibrating at a very high
So I
level.
have my little routines that keep me in this space. It's like tennis, golf, Pilates, yoga. You have to practice joy. You can't just be like, okay, where is it?
Yeah, that's something I'm also learning actually. Like happiness is intentional. You have to be intentional about being happy and being joyous and being of high energy, high vibrational self.
Yeah. So I help people get in front of the anxiety, worry, doubt. It's not like I give you tools to get in front of it. It's not like worry, doubt, fear, frustration, sadness is not going to come back in. But when it comes back in, you're going to go, okay, I'm going to journal. Okay, I'm going to put some oil on. Okay, I'm going to hug somebody. You're going to do things that get you out of that lower vibrating feeling.
Yeah. And I would like you to like share some tips on that. On there are listeners out there right now who are unfortunately suffering from anxiety, depression, or suicidal thoughts, and now they are at the train station, at the subway station, and they're about to get on the Feel Good Express. So what would you do? What should they do on the train so that by the time they alight at their destination, they are feeling good?
I would say just stay present as much as you can. I know some people don't like the subway because you're all like crammed in and it's not fun, but I would just try to stay in gratitude mode as much as you can, because when you're grateful for where you're going, maybe you're going home, maybe you're going to lunch, maybe you're going shopping, maybe you're going to meet a friend, but grateful, because when we're in gratitude mode, it's impossible to feel sad or angry or frustrated. I'd stay grateful on that train.
Yeah, talking about gratitude, I just remembered I was on your website earlier and I saw Didi's daily do's, and you talked about some of them already. I think you talked about on your website, you talk about falling in love with yourself, release worry and doubts like you talked about, and then gratitude list was what came up right now. I was like, okay, that means we must be intentional about being grateful for everything, whatever we have in our life, basically.
Yes. Yeah, these are the things, like I said, release worry and doubt, like the Dede's daily do's, be grateful. And also make sure I involve the angels in everything I'm doing. So if I'm going to present in a class or I'm going to meet new people, whatever I'm doing, I'm like, come on, angels, let's go. Come on, guardian angel, or come on, Michael, give me courage because I have to present. And sometimes, you get a little worried presenting in front of a group of people. So I always bless the space too. Like when I step into a space, I just bless it.
Yeah,
And
you
I
said
intend it to be something very special and miraculous to happen.
I love that so much. Yeah, like taking hold of the or taking control of the environment of the space that you're in.
Yeah, like I'm going to meet some great people today. Something magical is going to happen.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's awesome. So for people out there who are listening right now, they're very curious. Like they're already saying, "Oh, Didi, you have this feel good express, and you are helping people out there, for in their personal transformation, but they are still curious about learning the core pillars, of your lifestyle program, for example, and how you use that to empower people's life out there. So can you like talk to us about the core pillars and how people could also join you on this lifestyle program?
So, just rephrase that again. So you want to know about the Feel Good Express Lifestyle Program and how it
Yes.
helps people?
Yes.
Yes, it's really goes back to what we were kind of talking about before, Dede's daily do's. You do these things. You can't, like, I've had some people go, nothing's working. I'm so stuck. I'll get a text or whatever. And I have a pile of a shredded up 3 pages of notes that I had to get rid of because you don't want to read them back. So I send them a picture of the ripped up notes and I go, so have you been doing your worry and doubt list? And they go, I haven't in a couple of weeks. I'm like, okay, start that up and then get back to me. So you have to practice. Again, I get back to golf, tennis, Pilates, whatever you want to get really good at. And if you do these things and just stay in gratitude mode as much as you can, self-love mode, give and receiving love in a balanced way, because people think that I'm just looking for love. I want to attract love, but are you giving it too? Give it. And even if you're not, like some people say, well, I live alone, so I don't have anybody to hug. You can find people to hug. I just hugged this girl that I have something going on with my back, and there's a girl that's there at the reception desk. I just love her. And I was like, can I give you a hug? And you can find people or you could do it through the balance of giving and receiving love. You could do it through a text. You could do it through a phone call. Just tell somebody how much you appreciate them and how good they make you feel. That giving and receiving has to go on.
I mean, yeah, something's coming up for me. I learned something also a while back. I think from listening to a podcast or so, and the person was like something similar to what you said right now about in the morning, sometimes some people feel lonely that no one's reaching out to them. He said, why don't you send a nice morning message to like two, three of your friends, in the morning, like sending out love basically every morning to start out your day. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, like a little emoji hug or something. I think it's probably harder for men than women to do that just because we're naturally more nurturing. I'm not saying you're not nurturing, but it's easier to keep your heart open and be that mothering, nurturing thing,
Yeah,
self. But when you give it and receive it, you could tell when people are getting love in their life. It shows up in their face.
sure. Yeah, yeah. Wow, I mean, Didi, I've learned so much from you from this conversation so far. And I know there are people out there who are already curious to learn about, how do I connect to my guardian angels? Oh, so I even have guardian angels around me, or all the unseen helpers that we have around us. So apart from gratitude, like you said, or speaking in the mirror, writing down a list of to-dos, are there like some other spiritual practices that you do that could help people out there who are skeptical or disconnected from their spiritual selves?
Yeah. Well, I have to show you my oils again because I laugh. I have one that's called White Angelica that I use from Young Living. I've been using it for, I don't know, 15 years, and all my clients have to have it because it blocks all negative energy coming in and out. I have a client that orders 2 bottles every month. She's like pouring it all over herself. And then I have Magnify Your Purpose, which I love. My oils get me in that beautiful space and put me in the path. Like they magnify your purpose. These 2 oils and white angelica were on my desk in my office at News Channel 5. And we call one, my salespeople would come in and I'm overwhelmed. Okay, let's put this one on. White angelica. No, magnify your purpose. Because if you're like, feel this direction, that direction, overwhelmed, this pulls you right into your purpose. Magnify your purpose. This one, if you're worried about something negative a client said or an experience, okay, we're putting this on. This is going to block negative energy coming in and out. So I use oils every day. I have other ones for, you know, inner child when I want to work on my inner child. So the oils, I recommend aromatherapy big time.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So you're writing your worry and doubt list, you're doing your mirror work, you're doing your self-love list in the mirror, then you go into gratitude, then you put some of your oils on, and then you start asking your angels, first thing in the morning, bring in all those positive experiences. You're starting now to vibrate in a whole different way,
Hmm.
and
Yeah.
things just start manifesting. It's almost like you have a little magic.
And that way we can, show up in our corporate world and, be our best self and just shine.
Exactly. I don't want to make it hard for people, to how you have to journal journaling is great too, but if you don't have time, just have a little mantra. I'm a love magnet, I'm a money magnet, or I can believe it before I see it. Just have things that keep you in that.
Yes, in that high vibrational mode. Yes, yes. Wow. And you talk about, falling in love with yourself and how you went on that journey at the age of 30. So for a listener out there right now, struggling with self-worth or feeling invisible, like I've had from people who feel like they're invisible or they are nothing. They feel like they're worth nothing. So for people out there, apart from everything that you said already, I think you've answered this already, but is there like a first step that they should take that you recommend for them to start feeling that self-love?
Well, I went to a woman, her name's Maya Malay. She was a rebirther. This was in maybe it was 205. Anyway, she had me write 20, 70 times for 7 days, or maybe it was 10 days, but it doesn't matter. 70 times a day. I totally forgive myself for ever feeling I wasn't lovable. All the angels just came in behind your head. They like that one. But yes, totally forget. And every time I wrote it, you're writing it 70 times on 2 pieces of big white, yellow 8 by 11 paper. And the first 2 days, I was crying my eyes out every time I wrote it. To really forgive yourself, to think for a minute you weren't lovable. And by the end of that lovable feeling sinks in because we have to forgive ourselves for being so hard on ourselves. It's like a lot of times people have, I call the mean mommy syndrome or mean daddy syndrome. You might have had a parent that wasn't loving and kind and was judgmental and critical. So then you grow up and you mother or father yourself the same way they did. And then you go, oh my God, it's doing the same thing they did. Just be cognizant of that because it's normal. It's common to pick on yourself.
And we have to forgive ourselves forever, not loving ourselves. Yeah.
Yeah. Really forgive yourself for not loving yourself enough.
I mean, you talked on that point already. Like, we could be very hard on ourselves. Even sometimes we forgive our friends more than we forgive ourselves, basically.
Right.
You're like,
Yeah. Like come home from an event or a class or whatever, and you go, "Oh, shouldn't have said that. And why did I do this?"
mhm.
Like, wait a minute. The things that happened to you that day and cherish the good things and focus on that. Because there's always going to be something. Oh, I shouldn't have said that or whatever.
I mean, I could keep on going on. I'm learning so much from you. I mean, I really appreciate this so much. Uh,
Thank you.
for people out there who, have further questions to ask, maybe want to work with you, get some personal coaching, some personal time to talk with you, sessions with you, what's the best way to do this?
Okay, so you could reach me at Dede at feelgoodexpress.com. That's my email. And then also you can reach me through Facebook, which and Instagram. Instagram, it's Dede Feels Good. That's where you can follow. I started to do these little videos that are about 60 seconds called A Dose of Dede. So a lot of the things we spoke about today, I made little 60-second videos. They call them, I guess, micro podcasts, mini podcasts,
Yeah.
nothing like this. But I wanted to do it because I want to get my legacy out there. And I also feel as if a lot of people, their attention span is a little less these days,
Unfortunately true, yes.
including mine. And but yeah, so that's where you find me. Feel Good Express, Dede Feels Good, DDF Feel Good Express.
Awesome. I'm going to place the link to your website in the show notes of the episode. It has the link to your social media platforms also. So I encourage
Yes. It's
everyone
all
out
there
there.
on the website on the bottom.
Yes.
Exactly. And I just also started really working with a very great producer, making my YouTube channel pop a little, like,
Awesome.
because it was sitting there dormant because I'm like, I got to do Instagram, Facebook,
Yeah.
LinkedIn, and now YouTube channel.
And TikTok, don't forget TikTok.
Because you have to save time for spirituality and connecting to the angels, and you can really well, you're doing a lot with your podcast, so I know how much time that could take up, but you're doing fantastic, and it was such a treat to talk to you and connect.
Thank you so much. I mean, I feel so much blessed, speaking with you and learning about everything that you do and how you connect with your angels and, self-love also. And everything is intertwined. This life is like, you need to love yourself. You need to be connected with your, as unforeseen, unseen helpers, guardian angel. And, to be able to live a purposeful life, one needs to be aligned in every area,
Yeah,
body, spirit, soul, mind, everywhere.
exactly, and that's what I tell people. I'll ask people, "Well, what is it that you do?" So, I help people fall in love with themselves, own their gifts, step into their power, and connect with their guardian angel. That's it.
Yeah,
Once
definitely.
you start loving yourself, everything else falls into place.
Yeah.
It's effortless. You'll see. You're doing it already, Toby. I can feel it.
Yeah, I'm trying my best. Oh, thank you so much. So that's officially the end of the podcast recording. How was it for you?
It was great.
I enjoyed speaking with you. I was like, I could go on and on asking questions, but I want to respect your time so much. I don't want to go beyond.